What's up, everyone? Shakiel Mahjouri here for CBS Sports, and you know who this is. He is the UFC's number 8 ranked middleweight contender fighting Nassourdine Imavov in the co-main event of UFC Paris on Saturday. Not rocking the Post Malone hair anymore from the looks of it, so you killed my intro here. Brendan, all in Allen. How's it going, man?
Good man, how are you?
Good. What happened to the braids?
Oh man, I only do that for training, but training is pretty chill now, just once a day. So it's nice to just have that for sparring.
Gotcha. Just keep it out of your face, or
Yeah, I hate it, man. It's so aggravating,
then
to be
why are you not
honest.
keeping it for the fight? I guess because you
They'll braid it.
end up.
They'll braid it
I
before
see.
the fight.
I see. I see. I got you. I got you. Hey,
Yeah.
this is kind of a bizarre fight for me in the sense that like for such a long time we've been talking about Brendan Allen getting like a top five opponent, and for a long time Nassourdine was sitting behind you in the rankings, and then here comes this Jared Cannonier fight. What was your enthusiasm level when you got this call? Because the name maybe didn't make sense for a long time, but suddenly you're at least getting the number that you were looking for.
Literally, that's really it. It's the number. I'm fighting him for his number. It's literally all business. Every fight's business. Some has some personal stuff, but for me, this is literally 100% business. I just want his number. I just need that number to further my uh, negotiation tactics for fighting for a belt. So um, that's all I'm here to do. Doing it in his hometown, in front of his people, um, in front of his probably judges and everything else. Just add to that argument for fighting for the title next. So, um, yeah, as long as I go out there and get the job done Saturday night, it can't be much sweeter.
What do we make of him, Evolve? Do you think that his? I guess first thing, what did you make of the stoppage over Jared Cannonier? Fair, early?
I thought it was way early, but not his fault. 100% not his fault. I thought the punch that started it was very nice, very good punch. The stoppage itself, I think, was very bad. I think there wasn't one real time that Jared wobbled. I mean, he if he was so hurt, he would have fell down or went off, a straight line when he ran back to the cage to begin with. And I think even right before the stoppage, if I'm not mistaken, he threw a right hand and hit Imavov with it as Imavov was coming in. So I felt like he intelligently defended. I thought he did everything he needed to do to
Mm-hmm.
keep the fight going. But yeah, either way, Imavov got the finish. Not his fault, but yeah, early stoppage in my opinion.
I say this with no disrespect to Nasruddin. You and I have done those like UFC rankings videos before. Would you place Nasruddin Imavov at number 4 right now if you were sort of organizing the division?
No, no. I think well, I mean, my obviously my view of the rankings ain't worth shit because I'm the only guy on a crazy win streak that drops in the rankings with guys that are coming off losses more than one potentially above me. So, um, yeah, obviously my view of the rankings ain't too well.
Yeah, I mean, if you've ever looked at the list of people who contribute to those rankings, and to say, let me say this: I was on the Bellator rankings for a long time, and those also sucked. However, like I swear, 75% of the people that do the UFC rankings aren't like MMA media. They don't. Some of them don't even have like publications that exist anymore, but they're still contributing to
Wow.
rankings. It's really weird. Let's talk about that a little bit. Obviously, I always give fighters a lot of grace with short notice replacements because it's just a whole bunch of new complications that you're not preparing for. How do you feel the split decision win over Chris sort of, I guess, impacted the way people might see you in the division?
I feel like anyone who says that it was a split decision at all was very unintelligent when it comes to MMA and MMA rule set. Um, I've watched the fight over and over, and I still cannot figure a split. I still can't fathom anything that says he won. I can't understand. I watch it when I have it. I'm being nice at saying 4-1, and I'll say I'll be even super courteous and say a clear 3-2 for myself when I go by MMA rules and just watching a fight as a whole. So yeah, I really don't understand. And even looking at statistics, if you want to look up statistics, even though I don't believe the statistics are accurate on any fight, not just that one, especially the ones you get on the fight right after the fight's done.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think it was a split at all. I don't at all.
Do you think they? I'm curious. Do you think they like overestimate, underestimate, or do they have the statistics just like completely off in every which direction?
I think it's over because I think um a good instance is or a good example is if you watch the fight live, you could think this guy red corner was hitting B corner a lot. In between rounds, they'll show you a different angle of the same combinations that you saw live, and they're clearly not hitting the guy's face. They're hitting like his hands or his
Yeah,
elbow
yeah,
or his forearm. So then how do you go back and consider that? Do you consider that a landed punch, even though it looked like it live when it wasn't on the replay? But who edits that? Because I know it has to happen where you think he landed flush and he didn't land flush. I know I've had that a lot in different fights happen. So um yeah, I don't feel that the statistics to be accurate.
Hey Brendan, if you had to sit down for dinner with Marvin Vettori or Dricus du Plessis, who are you choosing and why? And this isn't an excuse.
Dricus,
Yeah, why?
because I feel like you could at least have a logical conversation with him. Like it may not be the best conversation, but at least you can have a general conversation with him. Like I was always told you can't have a rational conversation with an irrational person.
Gotcha.
It's not gonna happen. So at least maybe I can have a rational conversation with Dricus.
Also, I don't know how much South African food you've had, but it's pretty damn good. So at least you might be treated something good while you do that.
I'll stick to the American food.
I'm God. I don't know how many interviews you've done. I don't know how many you have left. I'm sure you've been asked or you will be asked, but I gotta hit it either way. I don't know that you got a bonus for it, but Dana White did say your scuffle with Marvin Vettori was the fight of the night. Anything you're willing to share about? I don't know what happened there or how we got to that point.
I wasn't even there, bro. It was just a guy that looked like me, I guess. I
It must have
wasn't
been.
there. Yeah, I was with Gerald Mearshart.
Yeah, if you were
Like
sparring, you would
playing.
have had the braids in, so it couldn't have been you.
Yeah, exactly. See, I was in camp. I was in camp during that point, but yeah, I wasn't there, man.
Fair enough. Um, are we still? If we get this fight, we're number four. At least I would imagine.
No,
Um,
knowing me, they'll probably move me to six, to be honest. I could probably finish in first
I'll,
round with no damage and still probably pull off. Who knows, man? I might go nine.
I will pray for you, Brendan. I will pray for you. Was that Vittori fight in the rearview mirror at that point?
Only way it's in the mirror is if I lose this fight. That's the only way it's
Gotcha.
in the mirror. Yeah, um, I feel I'm super, super close to a title, so I literally just want to go finish Imavov and see what the bosses say for fighting for a belt next, and hopefully that's what's next for me.
Right. I asked a bunch of fighters this question, so let me just throw it to you very quickly on the way out. Just sort of hot takes. Do you think Khamzat Chimaev will ever become a UFC champion? Why or why not?
That's tough, man. I think as of right now, no, because I think his visa. I don't know obviously the particulars, but I think his visa situation, based off what we hear, is like he can't fight in the U.S. So I think he has to figure that out first. I think the guy's talented wrestler and his jiu-jitsu and stuff is good. I feel like he's pretty good everywhere. I feel like he's similar to me, maybe a better wrestler, but yeah, I don't think he could you could be champion with only being able to fight in Abu Dhabi. So, and from my understanding, that's the only place he could fight, I guess, somewhere over there. But if I'm wrong on all that, then yeah, I could see him being a champion at some point.
Speaking of the champ DDP, as you start approaching, as we hopefully get closer, as we should be to this title shot. I know you hadn't always had the most sort of like glowing feedback about DDP's skills as a fighter. I'm curious, did the win over Izzy amend any part of your sort of like impression or understanding of the champ?
Not at all. I think the guy's good at making the fight a fight.
Mm-hmm.
He's not really super technical. Um, he doesn't do anything crazy, but he can fight. and he can dig deep. And I think that's it. That's his best attributes. He can make it a fight, and he can dig deep. Um, Sometimes I guess that's all you need.
Yeah, fair enough. I always put out a fan Q&A, and this one's a little off topic, but considering the nature of it, I wanted to give it a little bit of love. There's a 23-year-old guy currently training for his first amateur fight. Any advice that you can give him?
Oh man, enjoy the process. Obviously, you have to work hard to be there, but enjoy the process. Um, Fighting just becomes it changes you as a person for sure. So the more I've tried to stick lately is gratitude equals happiness.
Mm,
If you can't have gratitude, you're never gonna be fully happy. So enjoy the process, enjoy the journey, and be thankful for what you're being able to do and what you have. Um, yeah, that's the biggest advice I can give is just enjoy the journey because I promise you, the higher you get, the more pressure, the more mouths, the more people. It gets harder.
totally. Well, you know what? Then let's end on this note. My colleague Chris Van Vliet, huge interviewer, mostly pro wrestlers, does a ton of Hollywood stuff as well. He likes to end every interview with three things that he's great that the guest is grateful for. So I'll throw it to you, Brendan Allen. As of right now, what are three things that you're most grateful for?
Man, most importantly, it's always the health of my family. Like that's all that matters at the end of the day. I'm thankful for the freedom that the job gives me outside of fighting. Like I get to go do whatever I want. I get to be with my family. I make my own schedule. Um, and outside of that, my third thing was just being able to meet and have great bonds with people I probably would have never met without it. Like my friend Tuco, like the bond's insane. So yeah, just meeting good people.